Yo, I'm an addict, addicted to being savage. My life is a little graphic, like HBO making magic. I'm rapping to make that passive money coming from traffic. Doing mental gymnastics, I'm fluid and problematic. You losing if you come at me the wrong way. I've come a long way from sipping on Bombay. It's 1942 now, in this loud mouth, sipping hard in the back of a booth, sold out. I can never get enough. Success is like a drug. The money come in, but then I want more stuff. So I gotta work hard, play harder, gotta work smarter. Time is money, yeah, money is harder. So I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I was born in this world, I swear, to make a difference. If you need a mentor, I got something for you, kid. Just watch the way I move and try your best to copy it. Like a CEO, I move like an athlete pro.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast. I'm your host, Moneymaker Chris. And today's episode is a full recap of this past week's Home Run Derby as well as the MLB All-Star Game. I watched both and I'm here to talk about them here today. So let's get started. Start off with the Home Run Derby that took place on Monday. Now, in previous episodes, I gave you a little history of the Home Run Derby, history of the All-Star Game. That was always fun to discuss. I talked about going to both in 2018. Very good experiences for both of those. So let's get into this year. Like I said, we're starting off with the Home Run Derby and some new rules for this year's Home Run Derby. No clock, no timed Home Run Derby this year. So the rules were this simple. For this time around, you had 8 participants. Top 4 advanced to round 2, 20 swings in round 1, 15 swings in the final 2 rounds. A player who homers on his last swing in any round continues until he makes an out or wins the round. So that was the new rules for the Home Run Derby. And the participants this year are as follows. We had Jordan Walker from the Cardinals. We had Ben Rice from the Yankees. We had Bryce Harper from the Phillies. Wilson Contreras from the Red Sox. We have Junior Caminero from the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays. Kansas City, we had Jack Cagliano. Let's see, Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies. And then we have Munetaka Murakami from the White Sox. Those were your participants in the Home Run Derby. And I believe I pulled up the stats here, all their home runs up until this point of this season. Let's see, we're pulling it up here. Just give me a second here, guys. A lot of new faces in this Home Run Derby. Obviously, people know Bryce Harper and they know Kyle Schwarber. Those are well-known names. Up until this point, Kyle Schwarber has 32 home runs. Rice had 29 home runs. Junior had 28 home runs. Walker had 22 home runs. Wilson had 20 home runs. Murakami had 20 home runs. Jack had 15 home runs. So, yeah, that was the total number of home runs for each guy to this point in the season. And we'll go round by round. Let's see. So, let's see here. So each player, first round, you had Wilson Contreras. He went up first. He hit 13 home runs. Junior had 12 home runs. Murakami had 9 home runs. Bryce Harper had 8 home runs. Jack had 8 home runs. Rice had 7 home runs. Walker had 13 home runs. And Kyle Schwarber had 10 home runs. So Walker, Kyle, Wilson, and Junior, they all advanced to round 2, where Jordan had 6 home runs, Kyle had 9 home runs, Wilson had 8 home runs, and Junior had 8 home runs. And it came down to the hometown guy, Kyle Schwarber, and Jordan Walker. And Jordan Walker had 12 home runs, and Kyle had 11 home runs. And I believe he had he had 6 home runs in a row. 6 home runs in a row to take the win from the hometown guy, Kyle Schwarber. And total home runs for each guy, Walker had 31, Kyle had 30, Wilson had 21, Junior had 17, Murakami had 9, Bryce had 8, Jack had 8, and Rice had 7. So your winner for the Home Run Derby 2026 was Jordan Walker for the Cardinals. Never heard of this guy before. Never heard of him before. He's 24 years old. He's made his debut in March 30th, 2023 for the Cardinals. Has a career batting average of 255, 49 home runs, and a 186 RBIs. And he spent his whole time with the Cardinals. And a star is born. I feel a star is born. Like I said, born into this home run derby, the main names I knew was obviously Bryce and Kyle Schwarber. Bryce has won one before. I believe Kyle might have won one as well, but I know he's definitely participated in one. But I believe Kyle won one as well. I want to say he's won one. But this Jordan Walker kid, and he won $1 million. The winner gets $1 million. So he gets his name out there, he gets $1 million. He was on Pat McAfee's show the next day. And good for him. Good for him. It was an opportunity to go out there and make a name for yourself, and he did exactly that. That took down Kyle Schwarber, who was probably the favorite going into that last round. But it was exciting. It was on Netflix this year for the first time. Normally it's been on ESPN, but it was on Netflix, and his parents was there. His grandma was there. She was talking about him, playing baseball and how hard he's worked and everything. And it was beautiful to see that moment there, being able to be around family and everything like that. So it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. And like I said, it's a guy to wait for a guy to get his name out there. And he said he's the first Cardinals player to win the home run derby. And that says a lot because you've had some great hitters over the years with the Cardinals. Now, Mark McGwire, he won the home run derby, but he won it when he was with the Athletics. And Albert Pujols, he participated in 2003, 7, 9. Of course, his final season in 2015, he participated, but he never won a home run derby. And Stan Musial, at the time the home run derby was the home run derby he debuted in 1985, and he played from 1941 to 1963. So obviously the home run derby wasn't around, but he was around. But good for Jordan Walker. He's definitely a name I'm definitely gonna start keeping an eye on, and it was a great opportunity for him to go out there and make a name for himself. Now, one thing they were talking about, like, the ratings weren't that great for the home run derby this past year. They said the home run derby ratings dropped 7% on Netflix. So the streaming giants said Thursday it averaged 5.3 million views for the league's home run contest earlier this week in Philadelphia, won in dramatic fashion. But like I said, Cardinals or Jordan Walker figures down 7.5% from average attendance audience of 5.73 million views from last year's home run derby that was on ESPN and ESPN2. And I heard some people saying like, "Oh, they couldn't find the home run derby and everything." And I get it. On a new network, most people are used to it being on ESPN and it's on a different station. But at the same time, they announced this a while back. I remember when they had that first game, Giants and Yankees on Netflix. They announced, I think even before that they announced the home run derby was gonna be on Netflix. And all it does is take us a quick Google search to say, "Hey, when is the home run derby and what station is the home run derby gonna be on?" It'll easily come up for you. And I get some people may, not have known or may be used to it being on ESPN and everything and probably just assumed it was probably still gonna be on ESPN. But a lot of households have Netflix. Netflix has become a huge staple in many people's households these days. I remember back when you would just get the DVDs in the mail, you'd have a whole list. You could make a whole list of like the movies and stuff that you would want to get, and they would mail one to you. You'd watch the movie, you'd mail it back, they'd mail you another one and everything. But now Netflix has blown up to this huge platform that's showing NFL games, MLB games, like I said, the home run derby. You get boxing on there, MMA. Wrestling fans out there, you get Monday Night Raw on there. Of course, they still showing like movies, TV specials, they do roasting specials on there, the comedy specials. Netflix has become this huge platform for content these days. And I never want to say the ratings don't matter, but we view content so differently in 2026 than we did back in the day because you can stream stuff, you can go back and watch stuff later, you can DVR stuff. It's not like back in the day where you had to watch stuff, like, in the moment. I mean, you could go and, like, record it, like, VHS style, like, some people might be saying, like, "What is that, VHS?" You could go do that, but we just view content just so differently, and then you have clips online, like social media, it's like different YouTube and everything. I always wonder, like, what factors in when it comes to the ratings? Are they basing everything solely off people watching the stuff live? People that may go back and watch said content? Like, how are they viewing these ratings? Because that's a big thing as a wrestling fan. They always talk about people like, "Oh, the ratings this and the ratings that, and the ratings. You cannot look at the ratings the same in 2026 as you did, like, back in the day. We just like I've said, we view content so differently these days that you can't put your end all be all solely on ratings. I'll never say ratings don't matter, but I feel like ratings aren't nearly as important as they were back in the day because just in the climax that we're in, we just view content just differently. It's just a different time, a different area, different time and different era to consume like TV. People watch stuff not just on the TV, people watch stuff on their phones, their tablets, and their computers and everything like that. It's just a different time. It was a different time, but I enjoyed the home run derby and everything. I I always loved the home run derby. I believe I said it on here before. When I play the MLB, the show game, that's one of the main things I do in the game is get a bunch of the best hitters, and I do the home run derby. I always get excited for it. It's always cool to me to get some of the best hitters up there hitting home runs and maybe getting like names like you don't know, like a Jordan Walker. I didn't know who he was. A lot of these names on this list, I didn't know who they were, but I was excited to see what they could do in this new format and everything. So, will it be on Netflix next year moving forward? Who knows? Because I think they said MLB has like a 3-year deal with MLB to show like games and home run derby and everything like that, so we shall see, but hopefully now people are aware that, hey, the home run derby is gonna be on Netflix. Like I said, I don't think they've made an official announcement like it's gonna be always on there. I guess they're kinda testing the waters to see how people respond to it, but it's the era and time we're living in. The social media era, the streaming era, like Netflix, HBO Max, Peacock, Prime, those platforms are getting extremely popular. Like, traditional TV is almost phased out. Like, not say completely phased out, but it's just very, very different, and you gotta get with the programs or you're gonna fall back and you're gonna be left out. I mean, you really are. I mean, there's pros and cons to streaming, but at the end of the day, this is the world that we ultimately live in. So that was the home run derby. Now we're getting to the actual All-Star game, which took place on Tuesday. So here was the starters that were voted in. I mean, they had to make a few changes and adjustments because of some injuries and everything. But on the American League side, your starters were Mike Trout, Byron, Buxton, Aaron Judge. Those were outfielders. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first base, Ernie Clement at second base, Bobby Witt Jr. at shortstop, Junior Camaro at third base, Shea Lingers. Let me make sure I can this guy's name. Langellers was your catcher, and your DH was Jordan Alvarez. Those are your starters that were voted in. Your pitchers, you have Brian Baker, Dylan Cease, Aroldis Chapman, Jacob Laz, Parker Messick, Drew Rasmussen, Joe Ryan, Cam Skilleter, Kate Smith, Ranger Suarez, Louis Varland, and Michael Watcher. And then your reserve players was Dillinger, Ollie Rutschman, Travis Bazana, Nick Coors, let's see, Kevin McGonjo, Ben Rice, Yandy Diaz, Riley Green, Cody Bellinger, Randy and Rosa, and Miguel Vargas. Those were your reserves on the AL side. And then on your National League starters, you had Juan Soto, Andy Pages, and Brandon Morris. Those were outfielders. Infield, you got Max Muncy at third, CJ Abrams, hey, representing the Nats. At shortstop, Ozzy Alvarez for second base, Freddie Freeman. Like your first base, Drake Baldwin behind the plate, and then you had Shohei Ohtani as your DH. Pitchers, Chase Burns, Joan Duran, Rael Aurelius, C. Max Mayer, Mason Miller, Jacob Makowski, Eduardo Rodriguez, Chris Sale, Christopher Sanchez, Paul Skeens, Logan Webb, and Yanamichi Yamoto were all your reserve. Well, I mean, were all your main pitchers, and then your reserves is Wilson Contreras, Hunter Goodman, Luis Areza, Bryce Harper, Otto Lopez, Matt Olson, Kyle Schwarber, James Wood, Jordan Walker, Pete Crow Armstrong, Corbin Carroll, and Sal Stewart. I personally think James Wood should have been a starter. He's had a great season in the leadoff spot for the Nationals. Maybe that's my national bias kicking in, but the way he's been playing this season, I definitely felt he should have been voted in as a starter for this season. But the fact that we got him on the All-Star team, I mean, he's batting 278, 28 home runs, 66 RBIs. I think he's leading the league in not walk off, but leadoff home runs this season. He definitely should have been a starter, in my opinion. Still making the team is still pretty freaking cool. And then some replacements. You had Ivan Herrera from the Cardinals, replaced Shohei Ohtani because he's still dealing with an injury. And then you had pitcher Nick Martinez. He replaced him and Kadeen Fila have been named to the All-Star team, replacing Torres and Aaron Judge because they were out with injuries. And then we got another national that made the team. Foster Griffin made the team, placing Braxton Ashcraft on the roster. And then you had Tristan Peters. He replaced Nick Cruz on the AL roster. And then you had Justin Belkowski replacing Chase Burns on the roster because we had some injuries ultimately. And they said this was the most watched MLB All-Star game since 2018, drew in 8,794,000 viewers for the All-Star game for Fox in Philly. That's pretty good. Pretty freaking good. And it was a clean shutout. It was a shutout for the American League for this game. The American League beat the National League 4-0, making it the first shutout in an All-Star game since Citi Field in 2013. And Cody Bellinger was of the Yankees, who drove in 2 runs in the first inning, was your MVP for this game. Yeah, it was, like I say, a low-scoring game. The National League bats, they could not get going at all. It was a dominant performance by the American League. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, "Wow." Pleasantly surprised by this one. I was not expecting that whatsoever, but the AL can, notch another win under their belt. Let's see. Anything else came from that game? That's the main thing, yeah. And like I said, the ratings were, like I said, it's the highest rated game. Yeah, and I think a big reason it was in Philly too. They said it to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and everything. So being in Philly, that makes sense for the game to be there. Yeah, clean shutout by the American League in this one. But it was a fun game. You had Boys to Men. They were there performing as well. So Jennifer Hudson there as well singing. It was a very good, very good. I always love the festivities of the All-Star game. And I think the MLB does it better than anybody over NBA, NHL, and all them. I think the MLB does their All-Star game the best. But yeah, that's the All-Star game and the home run derby for this year. Now next year it's gonna be in Chicago. I think it's the first time it's been there since like the 90s. I want to say like 92, 93 was the last time the MLB All-Star game was in Chicago. Let me see. I can pull it up here and get the exact date and everything for you. But yeah, but it was like in the 90s, I want to say. See, this year MLB All-Star game. Let's see, venues. Pull it up here. Let's see here. The MLB All-Star game. Last time it was in Chicago. Let's see. List of host places. Give me a second here, guys. Just putting up the information. I get accurate information for you guys. Let's see. Yeah, 1990. July 10th, 1990, Wrigley Field. That was the last time the All-Star game was there in Wrigley Field. So that's gonna be exciting. I know they're talking about like a looming lockout and everything. So hopefully we don't get any lockout or anything like that, so that we can get the All-Star game there. I mean, the first one was in Chicago too, but I think it was at yeah, Comiskey Park. Yeah, July 6th, 1933, Comiskey Park had the first All-Star game. So Chicago has history with the All-Star game. So very, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, but that's the main things I wanted to discuss today. Oh, also too, like it seems like they got the MLB schedules out for 2027. My Nationals schedule is out. They start the season playing the Phillies in March 25th, home open against the Phillies. The Phillies, Mets, and they go to Philly to play. So you start off the season with some division games. They play the Athletics on the 4th of July. That's another game I always like to go to. Actually, I'm going to another game later on this, well, that's next month, I should say, at the end of the month when they play the Marlins and they're doing the James Wood bobblehead. So that's going to be exciting to get that. I haven't had a updated bobblehead because all the ones I have like Clay Turner, Bryce Harper, Rendon, a lot of the older Nationals, but to get a bobblehead from one of the new Nationals would be pretty good. And also, too, they announced the games for opening day. Got some very good games here. You got Blue Jays, Yankees, White Sox, Tigers, Orioles, Tampa Bay, Cubs, and Cleveland, Red Sox, Seattle, Angels, Brewers, Twins, and Royals, Marlins, Mets, Phillies, and Nationals, like I mentioned, Rangers, not about the Texans. Speaking of football, Texas Rangers and the Astros, Padres and Arizona, Chrissy's Reds and the Cardinals, the Athletics and Pirates, Giants and Rockies, and you have the Dodgers and the Braves. So long as there's no lockout or anything like that, these is the games that'll take place March 25th, 2027, opening day for Major League Baseball. There's nothing like opening day in baseball. It's a huge thing, especially if you in Cincinnati. They make a huge thing out of opening day over there. So, but just in general, I just love opening day for Major League Baseball. And one more thing before we wind down here, just like I would do on the original Grand Slam podcast and keeping it up with this one as well, going over the current standings in Major League Baseball, coming off the All-Star break here, we are with the current standings. On the AL side, we have Tampa Bay up in the top of the division at 56-40, followed by the Yankees at 54-43, followed by the Red Sox at 48-48, Orioles 47-51, and Toronto at 45-52. It's crunch time now. We're after the All-Star break and everything. Now we're making that push for the postseason. So you're really going to start seeing who the true, real contenders are in these divisions. Like Tampa Bay is on top right now. The Yankees are right there on their tail. So it could be a two-team race. Judge is still out for the Yankees. I don't know when he's coming back. I mean, that's a huge loss losing him. Hopefully he can come back soon. But right now it's Tampa and the Yankees are on top of the two teams that are battling it out for this division. On the Central side, you got the White Sox at 51-45, followed by Cleveland at 51-46, Twins 49-49, Detroit 45-52, and the Royals at 39-59. It's crazy to see the White Sox on top of this division. When I was doing the original show with Jade, I mean, the White Sox were bad at the bottom, like setting records for most losses in a season, and now to see them in a battle with Cleveland for this Central Division, it's going to be very interesting. And the Twins are right there too. They're only 3 games back. And even Detroit, they're 3.5 games back. The Royals only one. I mean, they're 10 games back. But it seems like right now it's the White Sox and Cleveland, and even like say Minnesota battling it out for this division. I mean, the Twins, they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. Detroit 7-3, 6-4, 6-4 for Cleveland and the White Sox. But it's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting to see how this Central Division plays out. But good for the White Sox. They deserve it. After being bad for so long, let's see them finally do something to make a push for the postseason. On the AL West side, you have the Rangers at top at 49-48, Seattle at 48-50, Houston at 47-52, Athletics at 41-56, and the Angels at 38-60. Seems like this could be a 3-team race here with the Rangers, Seattle, and Houston. They're all right there. Seattle's only a game back. Houston's 2.5 games back. Rangers are 5-5 in their last 10 games. Seattle's 3-7. Let's see. Houston is 4-6, and the Athletics are 0-10 in their last 10 games. Ouch! I'll give a little more to them later because they played my Nats last night. And let's see, over on the National League side, NL East, you got the Braves on top at 56-40, Philly at 54-45, or 54-44. Marlins at 52-46, my Nats at 49-49, and the Mets at 41-57. This is gonna be a very interesting race as well. Philly's only 3 games back. Marlins are 5 games back. Even my Nationals they're 8 games back, but they've been playing some very good ball. I mean, they 23 runs last night. 23 runs. 23-4. They beat the Athletics last night. Just unbelievable. It's been like night and day with the Nationals. I mean, Blake Terry, he's done a great job with this team. Got James Woods hitting TJ. Abram, just overall, just the offense. The only weakness with the Nationals is pitching. If they could, during the trade deadline, add a couple of arms, especially to that bullpen, they could be right in the mix for a possible, wild card spot. And the division's not, I mean, the division is very close. They're only 8 games back. Braves are 5-5 in their last 10 games. Same with the Phillies. Marlins are 6-4. We're 4-6. But this is going to be a very interesting division as well to see who ultimately takes this division. Right now, the Braves are on top. NL Central, you got the Brewers on top at 60-37 over on the Central side, followed by the Cubbies at 54-43, Cardinals at 51-45, Pirates at 50-47, and Chrissy's Reds at the bottom at 44-52. Come on, Chrissy's Reds, you gotta do better over there. That Ellie De La Cruz over there, nice young prospect. Come on, guys, gotta do better. Gotta do better. But this is gonna be an interesting division too. Like I said, you got Milwaukee, you got Chicago, Cardinals, all they're kind of in the mix. So we shall see. The Milwaukee 6-4 in their last 10 games. Cubbies are 5-5. Cardinals are 4-6. Pirates actually 7-3. But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting thing. It's probably could come down to the Cubbies and the Milwaukee Brewers. Right now, Milwaukee has a pretty strong lead on the division right now. And of course, over on the NL West side, you have the Dodgers on top at 62-36, followed by Arizona at 49-48, Padres at 48-49, San Francisco at 42-55, and the Rockies at the bottom at 39-60. Definitely things haven't changed. Like I said, the last time when me and Jay did the original Grand Slam podcast, the Rockies were at the bottom of the division. Here they are once again, still at the bottom of the NL West. But this is the Dodgers division. They're running away with this. Even with the injuries to Shohei and everything, you still got a great lineup over there. You still got Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts and company over there. They still have a very solid team. I mean, Arizona's 12.5 games back. Even with the Cardinals, with the Dodgers being 5-5 in their last 10 games. The Dodgers had this division pretty much on lock. They've had the last several seasons. They're a powerhouse. They're regardless of what people may think of them, they are a powerhouse. I always find it funny that when teams win a lot, oh, this team wins too much. They're doing too much winning. Oh, I'm tired of this team. But then if a team loses a lot, you talk about them like a dog too. So what do you want? A team wins a lot, or they're winning too much, but if a team loses too much, or they suck. They need to get it together. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. It's hard to win games in any sport, whether it's baseball, football, basketball. To win on a consistent basis, on a consistent amount of times is not an easy feat at all. So the teams that do it, the Dodgers, the Yankees, think of football like the Kansas Cities and the Patriots, and you think go to basketball like those Bulls teams, those Lakers teams, Celtics. It's not easy to do what those teams do. Being able to win games like that and win consistently year to year, especially, free agency, players coming and going, injuries, and so many things factoring in. To be able to win on a consistent basis year to year, it's not an easy thing to do in sports. So I always tip my cap when I'm a fan of the team or not. Teams that can win and win consistently. You gotta give them respect. You gotta give them the respect, whether you're a fan or not. You gotta respect their game. You gotta respect the grind and respect the hustle. But that is all for me, guys. Once again, thank you for listening to the relaunch of the Grand Slam podcast, now the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast. Give us a follow over on social media. On Twitter, we are at walkoff_podcast. And on Instagram, we are, I believe it's just the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast. I'm just going to double check that. Like I said, I've changed all of the socials, so want to be able to give you accurate. Let's see, yes, the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast on Instagram as well as Threads, all over. Um, yeah, social media. That's the social media, the Instagram page, and then like we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio. We are on Amazon Music, on YouTube, my YouTube page. Just look up the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast, and we should pop up with the red, white, and blue and Nationals colors logo. We are out there. Definitely give the show a listen, share the show, get the name out there for the relaunch of the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast. Also, my other show, TMC Podcast. Check it out. That's where I do all of my interviews for like wrestling and everything, all over social media, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Threads at TMC Podcast. We got a lot of great interviews. Had some girls on from the UK, had some girls on from Australia. Got more interviews and stuff lined up. It's been a really good year. Just hit 900 followers on Instagram and hit over 6,000 all-time downloads of the podcast, which is amazing. I'd love to get to 10,000 downloads by the end of the season. That would be great. It's definitely possible with the amount of shows coming up. And I have enough interviews now to get up to November. Because normally once I start my second job, that's when I kind of slow down with the TMC podcast and just kind of focus mainly on the football podcast. I'm about to plug in a second here, and then really kind of wind down the baseball show. So yeah, definitely support that platform. Also, the Three and Out Renaissance podcast, support that as well. Just did a great episode with my friend Damon Smith, which will be dropping next Wednesday at 8 a.m. So I'm trying to drop those shows on Wednesdays, especially once the season starts. Try to drop those on Wednesdays and drop this show through Walk Off on Fridays. But you definitely support that show as well. Let me get you the socials for those. For Instagram, we're at the Three and Out Renaissance podcast, as well as same thing on Threads. And on Twitter, we're at New Three and Out era on Twitter. And once again, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Amazon Music, we're on Pandora for both shows, this show and the Three and Out Renaissance podcast on YouTube. Definitely listen over there. Support the YouTube channel. Let me pull up the YouTube page here for you. I'm at the Moneymaker Experience. That's where you can find both the Walk Off Grand Slam podcast as well as the Three and Out Renaissance podcast. Both are available on there. So support me on those platforms as well. That's all for me. You guys take care. Be safe as always, and I will see you next time. Continue to support the shows. Peace.
Never know, I want it like a CEO. I move like an athlete pro. I want it like a rock star show. I live every day like my last, never know. I want it like a CEO.